really can do. He knows the life you really can live. Not just a life of a spoiled brat where a rich dad fixed everything. But a life of someone with substance, with character, with leadership, with endurance, with patience, and with ability to change the world. At least yours. Okay, so now we go on. So that's the first thing that God does. So He takes them on a longer road because He knows that some of these challenges they're not ready for. Okay, and then it goes on with some history where they carried Joseph's bones and all those type of things. And now they're in camp, chapter 14, verse, vir die wat saam met my volg, vers 2. Between and the sea, and they encamped by the sea directly opposite a place. And God, also another thing that is interesting that happened there, if you look at that part of the history, God had them on a journey. He said, kom bietjie terug hiernatoe. It's kind of like, they thought they were on their way, and God said, no, come this way. And they kind of backtracked a little bit. And God said, the reason why I want you guys to stay here is because Pharaoh is going to think you have no clue what you're doing, or your God. I'm going to make you look confused to him, so he's going to come after you, because I want to deal with this enemy. I want to deal with him who has oppressed you all your life. I want to deal with him in your heart, and I want to deal with him in your eyes, so that you will no longer look back at him and be afraid of him as you used to be. Because you were trained all your life to be afraid. You were trained all your life to be scared of this person. To be scared of the old life. He says, I want to destroy the old life. So that happens now. So now they get in camp there. We know the story further on. Julle kan nou gaan lees in vers 10. As Pharaoh approached. As Pharaoh approached. As that which we left behind approaches. Does it sometimes happen that the things we try to leave behind approaches again? Yes, it does. It happens with us. And when it does, there's so much fear coming in. En wat gebeur hierso? Soos wat die vrees inkom, sê die Here, hierdie is die tyd, en die Here wag, en hy stuur sy engel uit, stuur alles uit om te beskerm, en hulle sê, ag, as die Here my wou gelos het, moes hy my gelos het waar ek was. Hoekom wil hy my nou destroy nou dat ons hier is? Dis nou onnodige moeite. And I don't know about you, but I've had that temptation in my life a few times. Where I was like, oh God, why bring me so far and now everything is a mess? Why bring me so far and now things are speed wobbling? And God starts the journey with Israel. We know the story. I'm not going to go into detail with that. He takes them through the Red Sea. And he destroys the army of Egypt right there. And they get to the other side and they sing songs. It's so nice to sing songs in victory. So difficult to sing songs when the enemy is coming. And the very next thing, so now they sing songs, they're very happy. What is the next challenge? There's even the song of Moses and Miriam, everyone sings songs and are so happy. And then we get to chapter 15. And they get to a well. and it's amazing. What is it? You're in a desert. Do you think it's nice to find a well? Yes, it's like so exciting. It's like the breakthrough is here. We have arrived. It is the breakthrough. But what we don't understand. Hy is nou uit Egipte uitgelei sodat ons hier kan doodgaan van die dors. En die Here sê, okay, maak 'n plan vir hulle. En ek gaan nou kom met wat beteken, and they made it so that the water was drinkable. Miracle happened. Then verse 27, then they came to Elim, where there were 12 springs and 70 palm trees, and they camped there near the water. Toe het hulle baie water, maar hulle het nie eintlik kos nie. En wat sê hulle? Die Here ons nou hiernatoe gebring, net om ons te laat vergaan van die honger. They've been taken out of Egypt. They've walked through the Red Sea. They've complained about water. There was water there. They complained the water is too bitter. God made the water, changed the water. And I'm like, these ungrateful, what would you call them? Sods. Sis man, julle Julle het al hierdie experiences saam met God en julle kan nie, and I was so judgmental about them until I realized I'm exactly like that. I'm so busy with my life right now that what God did for me last year doesn't count on my radar at all. I'm just at this new challenge, and I'm allowing I'm not doing it anymore, so by the way, but there was a time in my life when I caught myself there. And this is a place of growth, where every challenge I had fear as if there's never been a victory in my life. Every new challenge, I was like, this is too big for, this is just, where's God in this? No. Ek dink die Here kyk uit vir my. Ek dink die Here kyk nou hierso. Kyk hierdie COVID, kyk wat doen dit aan my besigheid. Kyk wat doen dit hierso, kyk wat gebeur daar. Kyk wat gebeur met die wêreldekonomie. Kyk wat, I don't know what different challenges. What is this now? And God says, I'm going to continue bring challenges over your life, and I'm going to get you to the other side of them. Until you get to the point where you get to a new challenge and say, oh, yes, with my God, I can overcome them. Instead of every time fear overcomes us and fear lays hold of us. That's why this story is here. Because it's exactly how we journey from time to time. Kom aan, wie van julle face 'n groot challenge en dan dink jy, ag, sommer niks. Wie van julle projekteer die einde van alles in your mind? Yeah. We do that. We project the worst possible outcome. Here, kwaad vir mense, kwaad vir onsself, teleurgesteld en alles. In spite of the fact that this is not the first challenge in your life, but we can't even remember the previous one. How many challenges have we not had where we had this huge disaster in our minds just over the last 5 years in your life? And you're on the other side of them, and as you get to the other side of them, you look back